Y'all hear that sound? Happy Tuesday, y'all. It's actually almost 12:30. I have spent about 4 hours cleaning and washing mulberries. Now, while I go and fix my cup of coffee, I'm going to insert a clip from yesterday. And then we come back, we're going to talk about which mulberries we're going to cook down and which ones we will not, and I will explain why. Now, I had a lot more than this, but just for video purposes. So enjoy this little clip of us harvesting the mulberries, and then I'm going to get my cup of coffee. And this is right across the street at Mr. Craig's, and this is where we got our 2 cuttings of mulberries last year that's growing in the garden. And we're going to have plenty more cuttings coming, and Buddy will do a video showing you how he actually gets the cuttings. So enjoy this clip. I'm getting my coffee, and we're coming back and talk about mulberries. It's all about the mulberry today. And no purple fingers. Wear your gloves. You'll thank me later.
I just got out of the shower. Lippy, you get out of the shower?
I just got out of the shower, and Buddy said, the mulberry tree's ready.
That's on this full.
I hope I get enough to make a small batch of jelly tomorrow.
Make it. If you don't, just eat them like that.
I'm gonna and then I'll add to it.
Boy, bucket just fell right.
Look at
Let me
that.
walk this way.
We're on day 2, Monday. And we brought out the big guns. Let me show y'all.
Tree shakers.
Mr. Craig got his ladder, a tree shaker. We are set.
You hook it on the limb and shake the head.
Look at this. It's raining mulberries. We're about to make some jelly tomorrow. So what'd you think about that harvest? Y'all, it was raining mulberries. Now, many of you may have harvested mulberries in the past, and some you haven't. Get you a tarp. That is going to be your friend. And then do yourself a favor. Go ahead and get all the good mulberries while they're on that tarp. And don't pile them up like 2 gentlemen did. And just dump mulberries, sticks, leaves, a few bugs, all into a bucket and say, here you go, Lippy. Take my advice. It's very easy to do while they're on the tarp. Just start picking them up, sweeping them with your hand, collecting all the good, and then toss all the bad. Or you'll be like me for 4 hours, picking and washing one berry at a time. So yeah, I'm going to really supervise our next harvest, which is going to be in a couple of days. But in here, and this is very, very important. Some of you may know this, some of you may not, but it warrants to share. You see this mulberry here, okay? I'm going to actually get 3 different colors. This one here has a white tint, greenish white tint. That is a sap, a white sap, which is known as latex. This is toxic, humans and animals. You'll never see birds eating these, okay? You know, years ago, if a bird wouldn't eat it, you stay away. So, I do not put those in my berries. Here's the next stage, and it's red all the way around. Yes, I'm going to keep that. It's fully ripe at this stage, which is a purple. See? So I'm going to hold these 2 together, and I'm going to hold this one. This one is trash. This is what you want to keep. Now, these stems are edible too. I didn't take the time to pluck those stems because all I'm going to do is render the juice. That's the base for our jelly. And I won't be making it all on camera, but we will make one batch of jelly. So I'm going to discard these. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you how clean and pretty. And even though I washed twice, I just found a leaf. I mean, it's going to happen, guys. So let me get you set up. And I'm going to show you how much I have. And in here, I think I have 2 gallons of washed mulberries. So like I said, we'll do one batch of jelly. And then probably tomorrow, I'll finish up the difference. Or I can freeze the juice. But right now, we got to render it all down. I like doing a large batch, getting my juice. And my juice is then ready when I'm ready to make jelly. So move my coffee. And I'm going to be easy. I'm going to slide y'all on over here. You ready to do the slide? I forget, wasn't there a dance called the slide? Something about a slide. Okay, this is a large stainless steel water bath pot. Now, I don't have the rack in the bottom. We're going to use it right now as our stock pot. And I'm thinking, oh, it's at least half full. So my stove eye's on a number 8. We need to get some heat going. And I'm fixing to add a little bit of water. But this is about 2 gallons estimated of mulberries. And I'm guessing about 2 gallons. Because this is the stage I don't really count on how many mulberries I have. Because I'm just trying to get as much juice as I can. And then we'll divide the juice up to make one batch of jelly. Now to this, I'm going to add a half a pint of water just to get some liquid going. Now a lot of you may have a juicer. I don't. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Only I'm going to exchange my potato masher for this meat masher. I think it's going to be just fine. But right now, all we want to do is get the liquid and the juice up to a good temp before we start mashing. Okay, I'm starting to hear some sizzle. So my liquid is coming to temp. And I really want to get it to a boil state. Then we'll reduce the heat. We want to get as much juice as we can from these mulberries. Okay, we've not reached that boil state yet, but you see it's starting to really bubble, and I've been steadily mashing. But once we get to that rolling boil, we're going to definitely turn it down to a simmer and let these berries cook a minimum of 30 minutes. Okay, can you see it? We're at a decent boil state. Now this oven, this stovetop that I have will dial itself down for whatever reason. It's some kind of safety thing. So I'm trying to get used to it. But as soon as I stop stirring, I can see it starting to come back again to a boil. See that? So I am happy with that because it's going to continuously simmer semi-heavy as these berries cook down. So instead of being on a number high, see how it comes back? I'm going to go down to about a 5. And I am going to let it sit here, and every few minutes, I'm going to take that masher, and I'm going to mash these berries. And I'm going to let them sit and cook for 30 minutes. Like I said, I want to get all the juice I can get out of these berries, because I worked hard at these guys. And that's all you're going to do. So for 30 minutes, once you see that good boil, turn it down to medium and let it cook for 30 minutes. You can put the lid on too if you want to. But I am going to mash these about every 5 minutes throughout the 30 minutes of cooking. We're halfway there, and I'm going to turn you around and show you what you're looking for. I did turn my eye down to a number 3. And it's steadily simmering, but not hard. But at 5, it was too much once it reached that temp. But there's a little something I do different to my mulberry jelly. If I was doing a raspberry, I would do the same thing. There's something about that red berry, raspberry, mulberry, cranberry. If you add a touch of this secret ingredient, it will balance it. Not just the sweetness, but it kind of milds the sourness in a good way, okay? In a good way. Let me show you. And I did go to my potato masher. That meat thing, it wasn't working. Of course, y'all know I've never been a big fan of that, or either I don't have a good one. But I went back to my old faithful potato masher. Now, in this, I have 1/4 of a cup of pure pulp-free orange juice, no sugar added, okay? This is concentrated. 1/4 cup of pulp-free orange juice, no sugar. And I'm gonna tell you something, it does something, guys. I know the difference if I wouldn't add it. And you're not gonna taste the orange, but it works well with your cranberries, like if you're making cranberry sauce, raspberries, mulberries. Now, I don't do it to my blueberries or my blackberries or my strawberries, but definitely with my mulberries. Now, it's not a necessity for processing this into jelly. Let me stress that. But if you happen to have 1/4 of a cup of pulp-free, no sugar orange juice, you'll love it. But it's not a necessity to making the jelly. Okay, we're at a 25-minute mark, and I am good with this. I am really good because I have mashed these berries, and I don't think I'm going to get any more juice out of this. I hope I've got y'all set up good. Now, this is what I'm going to work on right now, because all we need is 4 cups of juice. So I have a 4-cup measure, I have a strainer, and I have some cheesecloth. So I can just throw this away. I buy this in a roll and I just cut off an amount because I don't want seeds in my jelly. I want a clean jelly. So right now I'm just going to concentrate on getting us 4 cups of juice set aside. It's going to be a lot of juice. Of course, I'm curious to see how much we get because I'm going to measure it out. So let's get it strained. Now I'm going to use a ladle. And this doesn't take too terribly long. I'm going to get 2 good scoops. About like that. And I won't bore you, but I'm just going to move this pulp around to get as much as we can out. Then I've got a little bowl set aside that I'll keep dumping this in. Oh yeah. I have got this much extra juice and I've got plenty more straining. So this is right at 2 more batches. Batch and a half. So I'm going to get a heavy 2 batches. And let's say I'm a cup short in liquid, I'll just use water. But right now, I got to drop you down. We got our 4 cups of juice, and this is where you start rocking and rolling. Now, for my altitude, I will be water bath canning this for 10 minutes. I am using my electric canner, so it's sitting over there getting the water temp up because it's going to be hot liquid going into a hot water bath canner. So I got to set this down and drop you. This juice is gorgeous. Now I am sitting on a number 8, okay? I'm putting 1 pouch of Sure Gel. 1 pouch. Now many of you that has followed me, y'all know that I always add an extra tablespoon of pectin. Because of the humidity, it can affect your jelly setup. So I always call this a lagniappe, and I add 1 extra tablespoon of pectin, which is exactly what that box is. It's a pectin. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And we're going to get this dissolved. Now, you won't be putting this on a low temp, a medium temp. You want a fairly high temp, because if it takes too long for it to come to its last state of boil, and I'll show you when we get to the sugar, it will actually break your pectin down. Because the pectin is what reacts to the internal temp, and I think it's like 225, 230. All right, we're going to get this dissolved, and I'm sorry I'm making noise, metal to metal, but I got to make sure that it's dissolved really good, and we're going to bring this up to a rolling boil. And like I said, you want to work fast with this. We don't want to break our pectin down. And what we're looking for is a bowl that you can stir down, and I am so sorry that the steam's getting to you, because I want y'all to be able to see this. But you want a bowl that you cannot stir down. And you definitely want a deep pot, because you don't want it to crest over, because it will. Now, I will not be adding any butter. Sometimes that does help with the foam. But I found just by skimming it, it works just fine. Now, this is when we're going in with 5 cups of sugar immediately. All at one time. We're going to get this dissolved. Bring it up to a boil. Once it comes to a boil state that you can't stir down, we're going to let it boil for 1 minute. Now, I cannot stir it down, so we need to do this for 1 minute. Okay, it boiled for 1 minute. Now it's time to fill our jars. I'm going to try and set this to where you can see it. Now, I did not have much froth, so I am not going to skim. That's going to be a choice that you make. A lot of times I do, but I did not have much. And I'm going to leave 1 inch of headspace. I've got a paper towel with vinegar on it. Now, I will not be debubbling because this is a liquid base. And you just want finger tight. Ooh, that's hot. And into my canner. Now, I will have to top this off with boiling water once I get all my jars in, because you need 1.5 inches of water above the jars. I ended up with 8 half pints. I have plenty of water above my jars. And we're going to water bath for 10 minutes. 1 of 3 batches is done. Eight beautiful jars. As you can see, I've got another batch I'm fixing to do. I ended up with almost 3 batches. And let me show you what I did. Here is the 4 cups. I had 3, right at 3. So let's say 2 3/4 cups. So I always keep pure apple juice or white grape juice. It is my filler. So what I did was I added the pure apple juice to make up the difference to get my 4 cups. So I'll end up with 3 batches. And I'll just call this mulberry apple jelly. But this way I didn't even have to worry about freezing that little bit. So I'm gonna take a fresh coffee break, do the 2nd batch, get the 3rd batch done, and guess what? We're good to go. And I'm not so sure I'm gonna go get no more mulberries. Yeah, not for about a day or 2, y'all. Whew. started, well, day before yesterday, he dropped some. I was there to get the good ones. Yesterday, he dropped them. I started this at 8 o'clock this morning. It is 3:12 in the afternoon. Got about 2 more hours, but I like to go ahead and spend a day. If I'm going to make jelly, I want to go ahead and get it all done in one day, and it's behind me. But that's going to yield me 24 jelly jars. That's 24 half pints of jelly. I mean, that's quite a bit. So I may go back in a couple of days and have Buddy shake the tree. But if I don't, we're good. We are good because we got other fruit that's going to be coming in as well. So remember that nugget. If you don't have enough of, say, if you were doing mulberries, just compensate with 100% pure juice. And the best one I found is the white grape or the apple. They're the mildest. I don't know that I would put grape juice in with the mulberry. I really don't. I think to bring it down just a little bit. You know, I just think that'd be just too tart. But there again, that's to my palate, may not be to yours. But always remember, don't fret. Don't throw it away. You can make up the difference as long as it's pure juice, no sugar, no additives. And this stuff, I buy it and I keep it. I think last year I had one that was about to expire, or either two. And, well, hold on a minute. Right here, look at that beautiful jelly. See that? Barely moves. This is a white grape and peach. I had some peach juice, a little bit, and I had white grape. And I made quite a few of these jars, and I think this is the last one. This was one of everybody's favorites. I have it sitting over there because we ran out, and I've got to take the top off and put my screw-on lid on, set it into the ice box. So see, you can make jelly using any kind of juice or mix, but a white grape and peach is out of this world. So I hope you enjoyed spending the day with me doing mulberries. I did not bore you with me picking through them thousands of berries with sticks and leaves. I saved you from that. I took all the punishment all by myself. But I hope you learned something. If you didn't know about the orange juice, try it next time. Raspberries, mulberries, cranberries. I mean, it just does something, and I really can't explain what it does. But as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And I will see you on the next one. Go find you a mulberry tree.